Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine and I hope you're all having a great season. I hope you're having a great time anyway. And I hope you had a great last game week, guys. It was a game week of real swings and you know the the players which were not that highly owned but really feared, especially for me, they really performed. For example, I told you the only player I was like really scared of not owning last game week was Madison, and until Madison played, I was having a great game week and, and all that. But as soon as Madison played, my rank absolutely plummeted, because everybody around me owned him, even though his ownership was like 10%, but the overall ownership around my ranks was really higher. So I mean, that wasn't the ideal situation for me. Thank God I wasn't watching the game. By the way, it would have been really traumatic just to sit through that game and watch Madison absolutely, smash it. But still, it's like, um, you know, still around the 500k mark. Not like really where I want to be, but could have been much worse. So yeah, this is what my team currently looks like, guys. I've still not made any transfers as of now, but I think I've got my transfers pretty much planned, and so there's not going to be much to think about here. Hey Sylvester, hey Cinema, hey Brian, and hey Barry. Welcome, guys. So I hope you're having a great season. Hope you had a great last game week. I really hope you owned Madison. I just didn't have a good way to get him in, you know. But I mean, I was a little bit underwhelmed by like De Bruyne and Kane was so like expensive assets, but like 8 points for De Bruyne, 6 for Kane, not like really, not really blockbuster returns. Madison got 18, Foden got 19. Absolutely crazy. Hey Barry, no, I'm not sick. I just actually woke up. I went for like very heavy exercise in the morning. So I came back. I went to sleep, and I thought I would be fresh for the stream. But although my mind is fresh, my voice might not be might not be fresh. So yeah, absolutely feeling fit and fine. Hey Todd, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you had a great game week in game week 9 as well. So guys, and this is what my team currently looks like, and I'll just let me show you. Like this is what I planned for my transfers. Um, you know, this is what I planned. I planned to transfer out Leon Bailey, who's kind of, just I got him in for the Nottingham Forest game on my wildcard, and unfortunately, this guy just never seems to perform for me. As soon as I get him out, he starts scoring. So, anyways, I'm planning to take out De Bruyne and Bailey for Madison and Foden. Now, there's a little bit of a problem with getting a Manchester City player, because, like, I have 3 City players and 1 Arsenal player, and those teams are blanking in game week 12, so it's not an ideal situation to be in. So maybe Foden deserves a second thought, and otherwise I'll have a very a big dilemma for game week 12, because he's actually blanking. But I still feel that against Southampton, Foden especially didn't play in the Champions League. I think he should be fresh and good to go. And in the way City are playing, I mean, you just have to get 3 players from their team. It's as simple as that. Brian says, do you prefer Martinelli or Zaha? I prefer Zaha, my friend. I think he's got really good fixtures, and he's the talisman. He's on penalties as well. Martinelli, I think to be honest with you, this is like not, and like this is not a situation in which you should be in a situation to kind of choose between the two, because I think Martinelli and Zaha both are good assets. But if you ask me only one, then definitely I feel that Zaha is the better asset till the World Cup, just because he's just so important to his team. Martinelli's been playing too much. He's playing in the Europa League, he's playing in the Premier League. He's like just getting too many minutes at the moment for my liking, to be honest with you. So I prefer Zaha. Sofal, I'm not sure Sofal's gonna start. You know, Kehrer might get a chance. So, in my opinion, and in my predictions, I feel Sofal's not gonna start. That's just what I feel, or what I predict. Say. Would you play Gordon or Gross for this week? I would. I mean, Gordon plays against United. Gross plays against Tottenham. I think Brighton have shown that they're like a much better attacking team than Everton. I'd say, So I think I'd go for Gross, especially at Gordon's not playing striker now. He's playing midfield. They've got Mope who's gonna play strikers. CAV says, "Hey Wiz, thoughts on Martinelli to Trossard or Barnes?" I mean, yeah, Martinelli to. I like this transfer, to be honest with you. Yes, this makes absolute sense to me. Even if you want to, like get Trossard or Barnes, that's absolutely, objectively speaking, I think they're both great options. I think Trossard has just got a little bit more going for him. I think he's more of a talisman than Harvey Barnes for his team. So based on that, I'd say Trossard. But based on the Leicester fixtures, definitely can go for Barnes as well. Definitely can. I was captain between KDB or Kane. Brighton away is not the thing is we had one game like for Brighton without Graham Potter, and that they performed really well. They actually drew away to Liverpool 3-3 at Anfield, so it was a really good performance. So it's hard for me to say to captain Kane. The problem with KDB is I'm a little bit concerned about his minutes. Although I expect him to start, if like they're leading 3-0, who knows when Pep Guardiola can take off KDB and save him a little bit because of the busy schedule that's gonna come. So that's the only reason I'm a little bit concerned. Kane, is gonna play 90 minutes regardless of what happens. Jared Bowen or Zaha? I'd say Zaha. Will you be keeping Mitrovic regardless of if this? Yeah, I'm gonna be keeping Mitrovic this week because the thing is he's got a foot injury. I'm not sure it's gonna be really serious, and next week is gonna play against Bournemouth. So I mean, just let me take you to the different screen. I don't like this screen here. So you see, if I keep Mitrovic and if he's fit, he plays Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Leeds, Everton. I mean, I would like to keep Mitrovic through these fixtures, and I see no reason to transfer him out, especially if I've got a cover, on the bench. Nico Williams, Andreas Pereira, I'm absolutely happy with the cover. No problem with that, because this is not a make or break thing. And I'll put Mitrovic in the team if he has any chance to start. I think their manager will start him. That's how important Mitrovic is. Jared Bowen or Trossard? I'd say Jared Bowen. The next two fixtures look really tasty. Geeta says, issues with starting 11, Nico Williams or Andreas to start. To be honest with you, my friend, I think there's not much to choose between. Andreas plays West Ham away, Nico Williams plays Aston Villa at home. If you want, you can. I'd still start Andreas. Nottingham Forest has shown no signs of, like not conceding. So clean sheets out of the question. So it's basically just a tussle between who can get an attacking return. That's the thing. Needs Sinistra replacement. Can't go City and got Matters, Martinelli, Zaha. Go for Zaha, my friend. Foden, though blank in 12. I know Fadzali. Yes, that's a concern for me as well. Maybe I'll just move him on for Jared Bowen or somebody else. Or maybe I'll just initially get Jared Bowen, like I am still thinking like Jared Bowen has got a good fixture, like he plays Fulham this game week, so I'm not ruling out the possibility of getting Jared Bowen because Luis Diaz is out of the question because of his tough fixtures against Arsenal and Manchester City. So that's the reason I'm thinking maybe I should just get Jared Bowen in place of Foden, but I think in the end I'm gonna end up getting Foden and just gonna I think make my transfers and kind of ride the blank. Farzid says Saka replacement, Foden, Bowen, Trossard, any other. Already have Madison and Zaha. I'd say Bowen. I think it's gonna be, and because you've got Madison and Zaha, and I think you can go with Bowen as well and Foden. I think they're both great options. The only thing with Foden is, as Fadzili already said, he's got a blank after 2 game weeks, and the next fixture after Southampton is Liverpool away, which is not the easiest. So you have to kind of think what you want here. I personally am just gonna go with Foden because I think in this game against Southampton you have to go. Southampton are a team which like which conceded like a lot of goals in certain games. Like I remember that Tottenham game, I remember that Leicester game, I remember I didn't own any of the Tottenham players against Southampton, I remember I didn't own any of the like Leicester players against Southampton, I didn't own Jamie Vardy, remember when they hit 9 goals against them. So I just don't want to take a chance. If that means I'm making an extra transfer in game week 12, then so be it. Play Gaita or Ward? Gaita, my friend. I think you should play Gaita in my opinion. No team is as bad as Nottingham Forest. So Bournemouth are looking a little bit better, since they're sacking their manager. Having Haaland alone feels like nothing will affect anything. Got no Cancelo, only of Haaland from City. Don't want headache on game week 12. That's absolutely fine, Fadzil. If you don't want a headache, then it's just, that's the decision you're gonna have to make, right? So going without City players in game week 10 and 11, and not having a headache in game week 12, that's the trade-off. Do I keep KDB or do what you're doing? That's not a wish. The thing is, it's according to your team, my friend. I'm doing this because I don't want Leon Bailey in my team, and I still want City cover. So I feel that and I also want Maddison really bad, especially seeing what he's doing at Leicester and how he's playing right now is absolutely on fire. James Maddison. So I feel that I need Maddison in my team. The only way to get Maddison is to simply transfer out De Bruyne for Maddison, but I also need to replace Leon Bailey, who's kind of injured. So my moves are a little bit forced and a little bit selective. So I don't think you should copy my moves. Isaac is out for an unknown time. Bring in Wilson or another forward. I think Wilson is fine. If I was you, I'd just replace Isaac with Wilson. If you brought in Isaac initially, you liked the Newcastle fixtures. I don't see any reason to change that. Ashish says, will Sofal start? Why is he nowadays not getting a start? I don't know the reason why he's not getting a start, but in my notes I've written that he's not starting. It seems that Kehrer is going to start, my friend. The reason I'm not so sure. I'm going to try to find out, but yeah, at this moment in time, I don't think he's going to start. Do you expect Emerson to start for West Ham United? No, I don't think so. I think if they're going to play with the back four, I think Cresswell is going to start at left back, not Emerson. How many points did you manage last week? I think I got 80 points, around 80 something. Yeah, let me show you. Yeah, this was my team last week, so it should be around 80. Let me just check for you. Yeah, it's 80. It's just that I didn't own Foden or Madison. Other than that, it was absolutely fine, my friend. Fadzili says, Madison, Zaha, Barnes, Salah, please do something. Trent Hall would boost the rank considering not many have him, but not owning Cancelo is bad. Of course, you will be backing your team against Liverpool. I'm not backing my team against Liverpool. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm really scared for this game because we don't really perform well against Liverpool, and Liverpool is the kind of team who they who if they want to come back into form, Arsenal is the kind of ideal team for them to play. I mean, let alone Salah, I think Firmino is kind of a really boogie player for my team. He always kind of scores against us, Roberto Firmino, and of course Salah does as well. So I'm a little bit scared going into this fixture. Although Arsenal are doing well and we're top of the table, I love that. But I'm still scared, my friend. Aman says, do I play Justin or Solanke? If I was you, I'd play Solanke, my friend. I always play the striker. Mitrovic has a foot injury. He's not completely ruled out in this week either, but I think he should be back next week. Hang on, you know what? Let me show you. What I do is for the press conference updates, I follow Colm Colm V Hayes, he actually gives a very good summary of the press conferences. So let's just have a look. Asen Hurl, O'Neill, Antonio Conte, Thomas Frank. I don't think we have any news on Mitrovic just yet, but he's just got a foot injury, Feel that he's gonna be fine. Even Bailey, he says he's got a small muscle injury. We are assessing around the back of the knee, but I just don't want Bailey in my team. I don't want anything to do with Leon Bailey. So we don't have any official news on Mitrovic, but I feel he's gonna be back. To be honest with you, I think he's got really good fixtures for me to kind of consider transferring him out. So let me come back and answer your questions here. Play Pope or Ward. Already have Trippier. Would be playing double Newcastle defense. I mean, this is a difficult question to answer, to be honest with you. Leicester, they just kept one clean sheet all season. That was against Nottingham Forest. It's not like that they're like a transformed team or something like that. So if I was you, I'd just stick with playing Pope, my friend. If I was you. But this is just play your own game. Almost every year at the end of the season, I say to myself, I will copy a content creator, but at the end of the day, I play my own game. FPL Raptor is killing it though. But like we play this game to have fun. Copying other people's teams absolutely makes no sense at all, my friend. And also, you select to copy one content creator. Who knows who's gonna pop up every year? Every time somebody else has a good year, so it doesn't make any sense. I think kills the fun of the game as well. It's better to kind of discuss. We're here to kind of parlay. We're here to kind of just counsel with each other, and in the end, I want everybody to make their own decisions. That's what at least these streams are about. Just giving my opinions and wanting everybody to make their own decisions. As a Villa fan, I think Bailey will be fine, but probably dropped anyway. What do you have as your predicted Villa frontline? Yeah, that's a good one. Bailey, I don't know. He's a very like strange one to own in FPL. In my opinion, I think Watkins, Ings, and Coutinho are gonna start. Especially if Bailey's out. But let's see what happens. Theo says, "Is this midfield okay? Trossard, Foden, Martinelli, Madison, Andreas. Yep, that looks good to me, Theo. I think it's perfectly fine, bro." Michael says, "Hey Wiz, if Metro doesn't play, who would be your first sub, Nick or Leon Bailey?" Michael, I'm gonna transfer out Leon Bailey, so I think my first sub is gonna be Andreas Pereira. Just realized I got triple Leicester and triple Palace. Never thought this will happen. Well, they've got good fixtures. I think that's a great ploy, Fadzali. Gehi or Andreas first sub? Well, you've got triple Palace, so I mean, you can put Andreas as first sub. Wiz fed up on Bailey already. Last season was Zaha. It's not about being fed up, my friend. The thing is, like, I brought him in for the good fixtures, and he scored a good goal against City. But look at this game, like Southampton home, 1-0. He played against Leeds away. His contribution is absolutely negligible. Look at his BPS. It tells his contribution, 4 and 2. Like, it's absolutely, he just does. Sometimes he does nothing in the game. It's like he's just hiding in the game. So I just don't like that too much. I mean, he was such a different player in the Bundesliga when I was watching him, but now in Aston Villa, he seems like a shadow of a player which I saw in the Bundesliga. Player from Leverkusen. Martial is starting, so Mitrovic to Martial is a good option as well. Definitely, I mean, if you want, you can go with Martial. I mean, I think even people are not considering Anthony. He scored 2 goals in his 2 starts, and I think he's a good option from Manchester United, especially at 7.5 million. I think in midfield of Madisons and Fodens and Jared Bowens, people are ignoring Anthony, but I think he's a good option. If he can score against Arsenal and Manchester City, when he plays against the lesser teams, I think he can easily get more returns. So I think people are still not considering him, but I will consider him. Watching 1 or 2 more games, I think I will consider him for my team. Maybe replace Foden with Anthony, especially for the blank or something. What are your total points right now? Says Aman. Hang on a second here, my friend. What are my total points? Second here. I've got 524, my friend. My total points are 524. Atul says, "Hey Wiz, hope you're good. Williams or Andreas first sub." I'm putting Andreas my first sub. Atul, I'm doing fine, and I hope you're doing well as well. CAV says, "Start Rico, Henry, or Nico Williams." That's, you know, you can start Nico Williams if you want, but realistically, I don't expect either Brentford or Nico Williams or Nottingham Forest to keep a clean sheet. So basically, the decisions should be based on whether you expect Rico Henry to get an attacking return or Nico Williams. That should be the basis for the decision. Who to start out of Sofal, Mings, or Mitrovic? I would put Mitrovic in the team and put Mings as first sub. Or even against Nottingham Forest, I mean, you could make an exception and put Mings in the team. That could also be an option. Alazar, because just in case Mitrovic comes on for 5 minutes and he'll spoil your clean sheet of Mings if Mings is going to get. So if you're not sure on Mitrovic, you can put Mings in the team and put Mitrovic and Sofal on the bench. That's what you can do. So I think Mitrovic again is not a serious injury. He's got a foot injury. I think he should be fine. If not in this week, then the next week. So I'm happy to hold him even if he doesn't start. Worth transferring Williams to a more boring option like Gehi? I think Justin is an interesting option at 4.3 million. I think he offers attacking returns. He offers more in attack, even if not returns in FPL terms as of now, but I think he will. He costs 4.3 million and he's more interesting as compared to Gehi, but Gehi also has the fixtures just as Justin, so I like both those options. So I think it is worth transferring out Nico Williams, because it's very hard to see Nico Williams getting a return, anytime soon, because that's how bad Nottingham Forest are. Making too many signings didn't help them in the end, I guess. Primed for relegation they look. Nottingham Forest. Let me go to my transfers page here, as the questions have dried up. So yeah, this is what I was thinking. I've been thinking, guys. I mean, not the only thing which concerns me with Foden is this blank, but I don't know. Yes, I have to write this blank. The reason I'm getting Foden is because he didn't play in the Champions League. I think he should be fresh, and Pep gave him a rest. So if you're concerned about Foden's minutes here, 74, 71, definitely should be concerned. But then you look at Kevin De Bruyne as well, 74, 71. So essentially he's getting taken off at the same time, guys, as Foden. 71 and 74 you see here, and you see for Foden as well, 71 and 74. So basically Pep Guardiola is taking them off at the same time, most of the time, in most of the games. So if I can own Foden at 8.1 million, that enables me to own a player like Maddison in place of Leon Bailey. I think that's a good trade-off, I'd say, to make. So yeah, at this moment in time, I'm just a second here. Yeah, at this moment in time, I'm kind of considering this moves. Worth selling Mitrovic for Wilson. I think it is definitely an option. I like Wilson as an option. I think he's when he plays, if he can stay fit, I think he's a great option in FPL terms. He's on penalties, he scores a lot of goals, and there's nothing not to like about Wilson. The issue is he's just very injury prone as a player. Is Wilson. Otherwise, no problems. Absolutely no problems with Wilson. Yeah. So guys, this is sorry, Bekalu says I have Maddison, Zaha, Salah, Martinelli, Mitrovic, and Solanke. Shall I keep my transfer? A good suggestion for a transfer: Maddison, Zaha, Salah, Martinelli, Mitrovic, Solanke. Well, looks good to me, Bekalu. I don't think any transfers are needed there. Alazar says, is it worth downgrading Pope to Gaeta? I think yes, there is a case to be made for Gaeta. especially if you need the money to upgrade Martinelli to Zaha or somebody else. I think there is definitely a case to be made to downgrade Pope to Gaeta. I'm in Newcastle. We're playing against Fulham, who were down to 10 men, and they still conceded a goal. I mean, that's absolutely horrendous. You know, thank God Trippier was actually subbed before they conceded a goal. Otherwise, I would have lost a double clean sheet to a 10-man Fulham. That was absolutely horrible. Anthony, Bowen, or Zaha? Wildcard in 12 anyway. I'd say Zaha, Barry. I like Zaha as an option. You can consider Bowen if you're gonna wildcard in 12, but I'd say Zaha. The fixtures look absolutely good. Let me show you his fixtures. You know, that'll help you make up your mind. Am I on the transfers page? Yeah, just a second here. So yeah, you can look at the fixtures. Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Nottingham Forest. Right until the World Cup, the fixtures look absolutely good for Zaha. And, you know, I'd say Zaha. Vortonesius says, what's your plan for blank game week 12? Well, I'm just gonna take out Martinelli and Foden, I'd say. Just take them out for the players I think, you know, I want for those weeks. You know, it's like I don't want to plan too much ahead, especially for the blank game week, because that's a problem which everybody has to deal with. And to prepare my team for 2 game weeks ahead, I don't want my team to suffer. You know, which actually a little bit, which happened with me a little bit when I was planning my wildcard. So I just want to play this week. If I have to take a hit, then so be it. You know, but I'll try to get the best team for the next 2 weeks. Let's see what happens in 12. Maybe I'll just transfer out Martinelli and Foden. Maybe it's not that complicated, and bench Haaland and Cancelo. You know, I think that can work. I would not have the strongest team, but well, who does? Nico Williams or Andreas Pereira? I prefer Andreas Pereira, my friend. I don't want to change anything. What do you think was yeah, that's the question. So you got Gaeta, Trent, James, Trippier, Salah, Barnes, Madison, Zaha, Mitrovic, Haaland, Tony. I like that team a lot. I wouldn't change anything. Absolutely fine. Ikjot says Diaz or Madison and play Gross or Zuma. Madison and Gross. That's what I would choose. Nicholas says, hi, would you start Mitrovic over Solanke? Nicholas, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if Mitrovic is going to be fit enough to play this game week. You know, so to play it safe, you can just put in Solanke. I think Mitrovic should be fine next week. You know, if you have an option as good as Solanke, not as good as Solanke, but as reliable as Solanke, is going to play 90 minutes, you know that. Why not put him in? You know, what if Mitrovic comes on for like 5-10 minutes? It's just not going to make any sense to me. As long as you feel Mitrovic is going to start this game week, I think you should play Solanke. Badali says, who's on your watch list for the upcoming weeks? To be honest with you, I've got Leandro Trossard on my watch list. I've got Anthony from Manchester United on my watch list, and you know, and yeah, a couple of others, but that's the one I really you know, I really like Leandro Trossard and Anthony. I'm gonna keep a close watch on them. Also, some of the Chelsea players I'm interested in. You know, Sterling, Aubameyang look really interesting. Let's see how it develops. Sudeep says, what's your previous point? You mean my points in the last game week? I got 80 points in the last game week, and my total points are 524. The overall rank is close to 500k. You know, it's like 538. So 538k. I'd like to say. Keeping Salah or get Madison plus Firmino. If I was you, I would keep Salah, my friend. Nicholas says, thanks. You're welcome, my friend. Faz says, I'm going to transfer out Mitro for Martial, and I think that's a good move. Faz, honestly, I think that's a good move if you want to, you know, attack the Everton fixture. I think there's nothing wrong in doing that. I think Martial is going to start. But this says was thinking about Martial for Mitrovic, but thinking that I don't want to go without Mitrovic against Bournemouth. 0.1 shot anyway. Tony better do something though. He's always like to bang hat-trick. Tony is the kind of player who, if you want to get returns from, you have to keep for the long term. You never know when he peaks. You know, it's just one of these games. He's gonna absolutely burst and do well. Then he's gonna stay quiet for the next couple of games. So if you want Tony, then you keep him for the long term. Absolutely. Rohit says Tony or Mitrovic is a good pick, bro. Rohit, Mitrovic is currently injured. Not sure if he's going to start this game week. I think he's going to be fine by the next game week. But that's what the news is coming out of the Fulham forums and stuff. Their manager hasn't done a press conference as of now. But yeah, so I think he's going to be fine. But I think they're both good. In the same price range, I think Callum Wilson is also a good option if you want to go for him, because Alexander Isak is currently not fit. And Callum Wilson, if he plays, I think he's a good option, especially with the fixtures coming up. I think he's a good player to own, Callum Wilson. Just a second, guys. Let me check Twitter. Let me check Twitter to see if there's any news about Mitrovic or anybody else. I am just looking through my messages and see if anybody has any early team news or anything like that. But it doesn't seem so. As long as somebody's gonna troll, I don't think we're gonna get any early team news today. Hopefully not. Well, coming back to the stream and answering your questions then. Raghav says, hi, was Tony or Trippier to bench? Oh, that's a difficult one, my friend. That is a difficult one. Raghav, I'd say play Tony and bench Trippier because, on penalties, as a striker, we always prefer the attacking players. As a rule of thumb, we always prefer the attacking players. So, yeah. Bob says, do you think it's a bad idea to play Nico Williams over Trent? I think definitely a bad idea, my friend. Nico Williams is playing for a Nottingham Forest team which can't buy a clean sheet at the moment, and attacking returns are like fantasy, a dream. So I'd say play Trent, my friend. Don't overthink. If you have Trent, play Trent. CAB says save to have 2 transfers next week or do Martinelli to Trossard this week. I think if you want to get Barnes, you can make that transfer now. If you want Trossard, then I think you can wait for the next week as well, because they play Spurs and it's not going to be an easy game for Brighton, although they scored 3 against Liverpool. But Brighton has always been kind of a boogie team for Liverpool, so a little bit. So if you want Barnes, then do it. If you want Trossard, then wait for the next week. Zara says thinking of transferring out Bailey for Zaha. Zara, I think that's a fantastic move to make. You are getting rid of a player who is not performing and getting a player who has really good fixtures and is the talisman for Crystal Palace. If you can make that move, I think that's a very good idea. Yeah, I like that move a lot. Edging towards Barnes, a bit more differential and better fixtures. Yep, if you want to go with Barnes, I think that you can make this move now as well. The problem with Martinelli is what I'm really concerned is he's getting a lot of minutes. I mean, he's playing Europa League, he's playing Premier League. He rarely gets subbed off. I'm a little bit concerned. He might just wear him out, just get playing so many minutes. Although he's young and everything, but still, players do need rest, because the games are going to come like Mondays, like weekends, Thursdays, and it's just going to become too hectic for Martinelli. And it's not like he's missed one Europa League game and played the other one. He's played both the games. So I'm a little bit concerned there. Yeah. Salah and Bailey out for Bowen and Trossard. Well, I've got the same kind of players, Abhijit, and I'm kind of thinking to transfer out Kevin De Bruyne and let me show you here. I'm thinking to do this. So Bailey and De Bruyne to Foden and Madison. That's what I'm thinking to do. But I think Bowen. The thing is, Trossard is playing Tottenham, So I don't think this is a move which necessarily needs to be made right now, And Salah, obviously, is Salah, so you can definitely keep him. Or if you already have Madison, if you already own Zaha, then definitely Bowen and Trossard make sense. Otherwise, I think you should prefer Zaha and Madison. I actually fancy him to do something against Trent. He struggles against every half-decent winger, and Martinelli is more than half-decent. Martinelli is absolutely a live wire. That is absolutely true. And even in the past seasons, CAV, even in the past seasons when Martinelli's played against Trent, he's given him a torrid time. So yeah, that is true. So you can actually wait this game week, and then you can make the decision. That'll give you more information to go on as well. Give you more time to think on it, and give you one free transfer, one more free transfer for next week. So there is definitely a thought to be given to this strategy of keeping Martinelli against Liverpool and see if he can do something against Trent. At least I hope he does something as an Arsenal fan. Vicky says, what about Chilwell? I don't expect him to start. That's the issue. I'm not sure if Chilwell's going to start. I'm a little bit concerned about Chilwell. I think Kukurea can start. So yeah, that's my concern with Chilwell. Like, I'm not sure if he's going to start. So I'll just like the thing that James is at least nailed on, and he's going to start all the games as compared to Chilwell. Joseph says Sofal or Andreas as the first sub in case Mitrovic doesn't play. I would put Andreas, my friend. I don't even expect Sofal to start. Play Mitrovic or James? James Leicester. You mean James Justin? I would... Technically, I would like to play Mitrovic, but if you don't think he's going to start, then you can just play James, because even James has a good game against Bournemouth, So we can make an exception because Mitrovic is injured. Put Mitrovic on the bench and you can start James Justin just for this week, because we're not sure if Mitrovic is going to start or not. You own them both, then I think Jared Bowen and Trossard makes sense, definitely. You can even think about Anthony, Abhijit. Anthony has been looking really sharp and really good for United, and he's a bit of a differential as well. So you can go for Jared Bowen as well as Anthony, just a bit of a differential as compared to Trossard, who people are now, obviously going for after his hat-trick. Thoughts on Watkins this week? For this week, definitely Watkins is a good option. Anybody against Nottingham Forest, a half-decent striker against Nottingham Forest is a good option. But the thing is, Watkins is like a really frustrating striker to own. I can tell you by experience. I've owned him for the past 2 seasons. It's just a very frustrating player to own. I mean, I'd like to own somebody like Danny Ings if he was nailed on, or even Coutinho from Aston Villa I really like. But again, it's Aston Villa. They're not really firing on all cylinders. I mean, if you have a free transfer, you want to take a punt, I think Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey at 5.2 million is also worth a look, or worth a second look, to be honest with you. That is also an option. Perisic and Mitrovic out for Cody and Wilson, or Mitrovic for Daka. What do you suggest? I'm looking to get Mitrovic back next week. I don't think you should transfer out Mitrovic if you're looking to get him back next week. I think just bench Mitrovic and play Perisic. I think Perisic is primed to start by all the fans. They think Perisic is going to start. Just play Perisic, bench Mitrovic, and play one of your bench players. If you want to get Mitrovic back next week, I don't see the point of transferring them out, especially for somebody like Conor Cody, a very boring option who doesn't offer anything in attack. And they play against United, so it's not an easy game anyway. So in my humble opinion, this doesn't make sense to me, bro. I think if I was you, I would bench Mitrovic and I would play Perisic. Abhijit says sounds nice. Cheers, man. Sudeep says transfer Salah for Madison plus Zaha. Last season, if anybody asked me this question, I would say, my God, you're absolutely nuts. But this season, it actually seems plausible, my friend. Especially if you're going to captain Haaland, and next week they're going to play against City, then I'd say you can do that, yes. Fadzili says non-FPL related, but which commentary is more epic, Aguero or Dini? To be honest with you, I like the Aguero one better because I was actually watching that game live, and this is etched in my memory forever. Because I just that was such drama. United won against Sunderland. They were waiting. United were City were losing 2-1, and then Dzeko scored that header, and we were all waiting with bated breaths, and Aguero scored that winner. And my word, I was watching the telecast in which Peter Drury was the one who was actually commenting. It was absolutely amazing to witness that moment live. It is just forever etched in my memory. And even though I don't like City too much, but that moment was something really special, for me, in terms of my football memory. Yeah, Dini moment was good. I mean, they missed a penalty. Leicester, I think it was. They missed a penalty and they went on scored at the other end to gain a promotion. It was a really good moment, but I like the Aguero one because I watched it live. And he says Bailey to Almiron, Willock to somebody else. Almiron, Willock, or someone else. I mean, if you want to, you can go with Almiron, Willock, my friend. I think their ceiling is not that high, to be honest with you. Not that high. Almiron, maximum 1 goal, 2-3 games. Willock, again, not scored this season. I think these options are underwhelming. The only options I like from Newcastle are Alan St. Maxima, Wilson, Isaac, who's obviously injured, Trippier, and that's about it. I don't rate Almiron or Willock as FPL options. As players, they're really good. I mean, Willock was an Arsenal player. Gusemi says start 3 out of Sofal, Perisic, Trippier, and Mitrovic. I would start Perisic, Trippier, and Mitrovic. Although I don't expect Mitrovic or Sofal to start, but if I had the option, I'd start these 3. Perisic, Trippier, and Mitrovic. Play Raya or play Ward. Raya plays against Newcastle. I think you can take a chance on Ward because they play against Bournemouth, who are not very attacking. Although I don't expect Raya or Ward to keep a clean sheet, but if you're playing for a clean sheet, then I think Ward has a greater chance of keeping a clean sheet. If you're playing for save points, I think Raya has more chance to get save points. So if you have to decide whether you want to play for the clean sheet or for the save points. Fadzili says heartbreaking for the United fans. Absolutely heartbreaking, my friend. That is true, but being an Arsenal fan, I was not at the best of terms with United. Never have been. Actually, over the time, like teams like Chelsea, teams like Manchester City, teams, Liverpool, they've grown, they've become again, they become league leaders, they become champions, they won the Premier League and stuff. But I belong to a generation where there were just 2 teams in the Premier League, that's United and Arsenal. I belong to an era where I grew up watching Thierry Henry and Ian Wright and Rocky Rocastle and Dennis Bergkamp, Pires, Vieira, and that's when I started to like Arsenal, and there was just 2 teams. So basically for me, the real rivals have always been United, never been City or Chelsea or anybody else. Obviously Tottenham is a different story, but out of these teams, the top teams, for me, United have always been the rivals, especially with because of my era. Abhijit says, quick question, Anthony or Rashford? To be honest with you, Abhijit, I'd say Rashford is the more has the chance to go really big because he scored 18 points against Arsenal. But I think Anthony offers you something in every game, be it a big team or a small team. Anthony scored against Arsenal and he scored against City, and look at the quality of those goals. I just wonder what he's going to do to these non-top 6 teams. I think he's going to do well against them. So I think Anthony could be a good option. I've been considering him in place of Foden, but I just can't get myself to do it. Rashford has the potential of a higher ceiling, but I think Anthony should be considered for consistent returns. And against a small team, I think he can explode as well. So it's a flip of a coin, my friend. It's not like I know too much about Anthony, but watching him over these two games, he looks really fabulous as a player to me. And he says play Andreas, Nico Williams, or Gabriel. I'd say Andreas, my friend. You want to play Gabriel? That's up to you. I'm not sure if Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool. Got to be Rashford, says Fadli. Well, that's totally a 50-50 question. I would go with Anthony. Barry says has to be Rashford, so you guys don't agree with me. But absolutely, that's fine. That's the diversity in our community, and that's what I enjoy. Everybody has their own opinions, guys. Yasa says De Bruyne to Foden, Isaac to Kane, and Bailey to Pereira for a minus. De Bruyne to Foden, Isaac to Kane. Why not do Isaac to Callum Wilson and keep De Bruyne, and just do Bailey to Pereira and don't take a -4? Just do Isaac to Wilson and Bailey to Pereira, and you can save your 4 points as well. Yasas. Hey Buckshot, I hope you are doing fine, my friend. Long time. I hope you're doing well in life as well as an FPL, bro. So guys, I think 15 minutes to go. Let's just lock our teams. Not thinking too much. There it goes. Not gonna be any drama. If you were expecting some today, no dramas today here. I'm just the bench is in order automatically. I mean, how good is that? You know, nothing needs to be done. That's brilliant. So I've got Cancelo, Trippier, James. For anybody who's not watching the stream and listening, so I can just read it out. I've got Pope as my keeper, Cancelo, Trippier. So I'm playing a 3-4-3. Cancelo, Trippier, James, Reece James, Zaha, Foden, Martinelli, Maddison, Kane, Mitrovic, which I don't expect is going to start, so Andres Pereira is going to come in hopefully, and Haaland, who's my captain. My vice captain is Kane. So this is going to be my team, guys. I made 2 transfers. No, thanks, Buckshot. Shivam says start Gehi or Sofal or Delo. I would start Delo, my friend. I think he's been playing really well in an attacking sense as well, and he has a chance to get a clean sheet against Everton, who I'm not sure can score at the moment. You know. Yeah, I think there's not much to choose between Delo and Gehi, so I'd say choose the one who has more chances of getting an attacking return. Rafa and Reza, are you starting Mitro? What about if you have Gehi who starts? I'm just putting in Mitrovic. I don't expect him to start this game week. You know, I own him. I'm keeping him. What's the point of putting him on the bench? It's better to just put him in the team. If he doesn't start, then my bench player comes in. The reason, also a reason for starting Mitrovic is because I don't expect Andreas Pereira to do too much. So, especially with Willian joining Fulham, I think Andreas Pereira's attacking returns are going to diminish as compared to what he was doing earlier in the season. So I don't think there's much to choose between them, my friend. If you have Gehi, obviously you can put Gehi in the team and put Mitrovic on the bench, because I really don't expect him to start this game week. What about if he's sub in for a 1-point cameo? That's the risk you're having to take. That's the risk I'm willing to take. If he subs on for a 1-point cameo, then so be it. I get 1 point in place of 2 points from Andres Pereira. Big deal. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. So, yeah. Comes on for 1-point cameo, doesn't make much difference to me. If you have a player who you expect to score more than 2 points on your bench, then you can put him in and put Mitrovic on the bench. Then it absolutely makes sense. By the way, guys, I'm a little bit hurried today. I'm not gonna be staying too long after the deadline. I have to go. I've got guests, but I'm gonna stay here till the deadline. I'm gonna keep answering your questions because we still have 10 minutes to go to the deadline, so I'm gonna stick with you here and try to answer your questions. By the way, let me just go check on Twitter once again, see if we have any information. So, quick thoughts on Leicester players: buy Maddison, don't buy strikers. Cristiano or Justin, keeper will be Ward. So, there's this guy Sam Martin. He's revealed that Iverson is not going to start. Ward is going to be the keeper. Not a big deal. I think we all already know that. Just a second. I don't see any team news or anything of that order, of that sort. So let's just come back and answer your questions, guys. I don't think we're gonna get any. By the way, guys, any of you who are looking to replace Mitrovic, I think Callum Wilson is a perfectly good option or a perfectly good replacement for Mitrovic. You know, so that's just saying that. Okay, then I start Gehi over Mitrovic, bro. Yeah, Rafa, you can do that. Salam says, is this your final lineup? Yes, sir. This is my final lineup. Why did you get rid of KDB, says Refusion. Refusion, I just got rid of KDB because 1, Foden did not play midweek. 2, he's in good form. And 3, I wanted money to get Maddison. You know, because the fixtures are really good for Leicester. And around my rank, Maddison is like really heavily owned. And 3, I think Foden can match KDB. 4, I think it's easier to replace an 8 million player as compared to a 12 million player. So come game week 12, I think it would be easier to move on Foden for somebody like Jared Bowen. But it would be hard for me to move KDB, you know, so just wanted to get some flexibility there. That's just one of my reasons, my friend. KDB, if you own him, I think he's a perfectly good option. It's just that for my team, the structure I needed to alter a little bit. Stan says Martinelli to Zaha, good move. I think it's a good move, Stan, yes. The scene when Haaland is benched and Alvarez starts, no, not gonna happen. I think Haaland is gonna start. Early news coming by the sounds of it. Oh, that's interesting. Team news and Tix is giving. Give me a second here, guys. If there's any early team news coming, I'm gonna keep you updated. All right. Got the wrong Anthony. Team news days are over. Oh, come on. Should probably stay quiet after getting one wrong on Thursday, shouldn't I? So he's just teasing everybody. Oh my. Come on. People in the comments are like, Haaland is being rested. Nah, that's not gonna happen. If that happens, then let it happen. We can't do anything about that, can we, guys? I mean, you know, Haaland. Practically everybody owns. Practically any active team today owns Haaland at this point in time. You know, the ownership of Haaland is 83.9%. That's absolutely insane, guys. Hey, FPL Jug, no worries, my friend. You didn't miss too much. And you know, having sleep is good for FPL. Well, team news and Tix as of now hasn't posted anything, guys. I'll keep you updated. I've turned on the notifications for him. If he says anything, I'll let you know, right? The scenes when Salah scores a hat-trick just after I transferred him out. Well, you know, Salah is overdue a goal, let alone a hat-trick, my friend. He's just an amazing player. And just by getting Haaland, we're getting a captaincy option which is so reliable other than Salah, and that is the only reason we can transfer out Salah. But that doesn't make Salah, you know, like an expendable player. As soon as he's back in form, Liverpool is back in form, I'm gonna transfer out Kane and replace Foden with Salah. That's absolutely happening, you know. So there's no doubts there. Play Trippier or Delo? Out of those two, I'd play Trippier for Zid. Any news? Yeah, I think he's tweeted. So he says, I did say Vardy doesn't start, they say. Guys, team news and stick. By the way, I'm not saying this, making this up. By the way, you know, I'm going to show you. So he says, just a second. Yeah, this is what he says. I've not been able to confirm this. He says, one of my guys told me that Vardy doesn't start. So guys, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. It's up to you to believe him or not. But mostly he does, you know, reliable leaks, this guy. So if you want to believe him, absolutely believe him. If you don't want to believe him, that's totally up to you. So I've showed you the leak which he gave us. So I'm going to take you back to my team for anybody who wants to see my team, which, you know. So far to Gehi. Yeah, that looks good to me, Matthew. I think that's a good transfer to make, bro. Absolutely good. Guys, once again reminding you, not going to be able to stay after the deadline, have to really go. But still 5 minutes left. CAV says, was hoping for a leak that helped my team. Weren't we all? But I'm happy that he doesn't start, because Madison would have more chances, I guess, if Vardy doesn't play or something of that order. But anybody who owns Harvey Barnes should be more happy that Vardy doesn't start, because Harvey Barnes going to play closer to goal. So yeah, you know, small wins, guys. Small wins, especially after losing really large last week with Foden and Madison. Especially Madison. Foden is fine. I mean, I had KDB, but Madison was absolutely horrible. Not watching that game, but seeing the score. I mean, you know, Twitter going crazy and you not owning him, feeling like the world was falling apart. GW10 says, which kickoff game are you watching? GW10, I'm probably not going to be able to watch any game today, unfortunately, my friend. Have to go. My wife's family is here. I have to possibly gonna take them out, and I might sneak a few minutes on my cell phone, but I don't think I have too much time to watch the games. I'm gonna have to watch the highlights later on. Technically, by the way, guys, we're capping a player in the early kickoff, but since they're all consecutive kickoffs, I don't think we should be concerned with that. Should we? Like, we're fighting against the early kickoff again, are we? I hope you're doing well, Jovan, and thanks for popping in, bro. CAV says Telemans is on penalties. Yep. If Vardy doesn't play, I think Telemans is on penalties. You're absolutely right. Gasemi says, what's your overall rank? My overall rank is 500k, my friend. 5 lakh, you can call it, or 0.5 million, you can call it, whichever suits you. Light Ray says, Wiz, give us your prediction for Arsenal versus Liverpool. Light Rays, it's hard for me to give you that prediction, bro. My heart says something else, but my head says something. I hope we can at least draw that game. I think there's going to be goals in this game. I don't think anybody's going to keep a clean sheet. I think it can be a kind of a 1-1 or a 2-2 game, It's hard to predict Liverpool these days. Although Arsenal are playing well, they've not really been tested, Yes, Tottenham were a decent team as a test, but playing at the Emirates against Tottenham is always going to be different, The crowd is just so up for the game. Alright, Jug says, I made my transfer as discussed on Twitter, Haaland captain. That's fine, Jugs. I think that was absolutely good. Aaron says, Wiz, is Mitrovic playing and should I get Wilson, Daka for Isaac? I think you should get Wilson for Isaac. Absolutely should get. Mitrovic, I don't think he's going to start. I'm just putting him in my team, hitting and hoping. If he doesn't start, then I get my bench player. But I don't think Mitrovic is going to start. I think you should get Wilson in place of Isaac. Yes. Fadli says, I'm reconsider Gehi first sub, Andreas second. Last minute thoughts, this week's sub will be important. Yes, that is true. You can do that, my friend. There's not much to choose between. I think it's mainly a difference of 2-3 points in the end. Guys, by the way, no more questions, please. Go and lock your teams. 2 minutes to go. I don't want anybody to miss the deadline, please. Just go and lock your teams. Let me refresh my team for everybody to see. This is my final team here. So, yep, hopefully you can see it. Yes, this is my final team. And just lock your teams, guys. Any questions you had, I think have already been answered. I tried my best to answer the questions. Don't miss the deadline. Last minute panic decisions are always the worst. So just go and just lock your teams. Start Martinelli or Gross. Oh man, Barry, you can take a chance. I think if I was you, I would start Martinelli, Barry. I think he's highly owned. He has a chance to do something against Liverpool. It's a difficult question, to be honest with you, because Brighton play against Tottenham. So, if I was you, if I had these two, I would start Martinelli. Maybe because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I would still start Martinelli. Let me see what his ownership is right now. Martinelli, I think he's still very heavily owned, 45%. Yeah, I think play the EO. Boring Haaland captain. Yep, always. I like being boring in my captains as long as they're successful, my friend. Good luck, everyone. Thanks, CAV. Thanks for being here and being really active. I really enjoyed our conversation. Barry says, giving you tough questions right at the end. No worries, my friend. That's what I'm here for, and I like that. like being putting into tough situations and trying to come up with the solutions. That's what the wizards are for in this world. They're meant to do these kind of things. Zara says good luck. Good luck to you as well, Zara. Fazali says, remember when we were thinking who to choose between Haaland and Kane? The answer is both and drop Salah. Who would have thought? Yeah, that is true. True, absolutely, my friend. But I'm sure Salah's going to be back into the thinking very, very quickly. He scores a couple of goals and he's back in most of the teams, because people have this FOMO of Salah, and as long as he doesn't perform, then he can stay out of the team. But as soon as he does, I think people are going to get him. Abhijit says, yeah, water is wet and Haaland is a captain. Interesting. Gazemi says, thanks for the stream. Good luck. Welcome, my friend, and good luck to you as well. Salah cooking Ramsdale tomorrow. Fadzali, please, my friend. Have some, compassion for a fellow Arsenal, or not a fellow Arsenal fan, but for an Arsenal fan. I hope it's not too bad. I hope we at least manage a draw against Liverpool, because it's been a while since we beat Liverpool. We've been getting hammered like 4-0 and 5-0 and 5-1s. I just for once, I just want to get the better of that lot. I hope we can. So hopefully, guys. Fazli says you need to be humble again. I'm humble, bro. I'm conceding. I'm scared of playing Liverpool. Isn't that being humble? Being on the top of the league and still saying we're scared to play Liverpool. It's just cut me some slack, bro. Let us be happy. We've endured a long, from the Premier League, from the Champions League. I mean, been away from the Champions League, playing Europa League, sometimes not even Europa League. It's like Mitrovic due to fall. Oh, let him fall. I'm gonna keep him anyway, so it doesn't make difference to me. He scores one goal, is gonna rise in price for Tilly. Don't care. So guys, as I already told you, not gonna be doing the predictions today. I have to leave early. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope your questions were answered. I hope you have a great game week 10, and I will see you very soon for the game week 11 deadline stream. Until then, you just take care of yourselves. Have fun, guys. May the arrows be green. FPL Wizard signing out. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.